Good morning. It's Friday, February 10th today, and I'm welcoming you to my coffee and a card tutorial today. And we're just going to do a quick card, and I hope we'll give people a little chance to join on and we'll talk a little bit. If you have any questions for me, you can certainly type them in the comments. If I see them during the live, I'll gladly answer them. If not, I will answer them later, because as I'm demonstrating or talking, sometimes I can't always see them. If my phone is flipped down, it's hard for me to see all those things there. So welcome. I have not coffee today, but tea. And one of my favorite mugs. If found in microwave, please return to Grandma. Because I'm notorious for leaving my tea that I warmed up previously in the microwave, or my coffee. If I don't finish it right away, I like it hot, so I try to reheat it. Sometimes I forget it's there. And sometimes later on, somebody says, oh, look what I found. Whose is this? Well, it's Grandma's. It's mine. No, welcome. Don't forget to sign in. Just say good morning, like Marcia did. Hi, Marcia. Marcia's on my downline team. And I think she's having a lot of fun joining in on all our things. So nice to see you on. Say hello. Say if you like to say where you're from, that's great. You will be put into a raffle for a door prize today for joining in on my live. So if you're watching this as a replay, I welcome you to. Good morning, Pat. And although you won't be part of the raffle, but you can still say hello and let me know where you're from. I like to know who I'm reaching out to. So that's all wonderful. So yeah, take a sip of tea, coffee, join in. Make sure you put your beverage on the side of your crafting projects though. Okay, you don't want to have any mishaps and spill all over the place. Been there once or twice. I learned my lesson, I know. Okay, so I really appreciate all of you joining in today. Great time for purchasing Stampin' Up products. I'll just give a little wrap up here on celebrations. Has been running since January, goes to the end of February, and for every $50 you spend, you can get some free gifts, free stamp sets from the celebration brochure. And there's some nice DSP in there as well. There are some new items added also that are not in the catalog, but you can find them online. So check those out. Those have been added recently. And Celebrations goes until the end of February. So spend $50, you get one of those items to choose from. Spend $100, you can choose a $100 item or two $50s, and so on. If there is no limit, you can go up as high as you want. And also, my little special now through 3 p.m. on Super Bowl Sunday is if you order with me, with every $50, you get an entry into my raffle. And this is a mystery host raffle. So that means that all my orders are put together under one host code. And I will show you that when I flip the camera around. You'll see that. I'll hold it here, but it's backwards, right? So you can also find that on my blog near the shopping cart if you're not sure where it is. If you're on my mailing list, I send that out on my mailing list. If you're not on my mailing list, get on my mailing list. You can do that from my blog, stampwithlorraine.com. In the sidebar, it says, send me my free tutorial. You'll get a free tutorial when you sign up, or there'll be a pop-up window, whatever you do. And you'll be able to stay in touch with all my Stampin' Up news. So anyway, Mystery Hostess, it's up to about $70 right now. So if you feel lucky and you want to take a chance in the raffle, have a $50 order with me, you'll get an entry into the raffle. $100, 2 entries into the raffle, and so on. So for every 50, you get that entry. And this is how it's going to work. You will choose a team, either the Chiefs or the Eagles, and I will put you on a wheel for that team. Every time that team scores, I will spin the wheel and you'll get a small prize. Maybe it'll be some ribbon, maybe it'll be some embellishments or some, DSP samples, whatever. Okay, so every time the Eagles score, I'll spin the Eagles wheel. If you're on there, you have a chance to win a small prize. Same with the Chiefs. So I'll be doing that every time somebody scores. I'll do it live right here on Facebook Live. At the end of the game, whoever is the winner. If Eagles win, I'll spin the Eagles wheel, and one of those people will be the mystery host and earn that $70 or more in Stampin' Rewards. It means you can order anything from the catalog with those host rewards. And you will also get this Scenic Garden stamp set, which is a host reward only. You cannot get this with your celebration, through celebrations with your order. You have to be a host with during celebrations. So you get this plus whatever the amount the host rewards are at the time. Right now I said it's about $70. So yeah, give me a thumbs up on that. That's great, right? Hearts, thumbs up, great. So check that out and have fun. Good luck. Okay, no matter who you're rooting for, it may be a fun, fair game. And as my son-in-law's mother likes to say, may the team with the best score win. It's obvious, right? Good old Diane. She likes to have a good sense of humor, right? Okay. So we are going to do a fun fold today that is a bay fold card. I've done this before. May have seen a tutorial on it even, but I thought I'd share it again because we have some new people on, and it's a fun thing to do, and it's really nice to do it with some of the great DSP that we have. So yeah, like I said, say hello, tell me where you're from. You get into the raffle for this little Facebook Live here. All right, say good morning, Deb. Nice to see you. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to turn the camera around. Excuse me if I seem a little scattered here because I've got all these ideas I want to try. And I might even ask some of your suggestions to see how it's going to go. On Facebook, I gave an option for people to weigh in and say, oh, what stamp set or DSP would you like to see me use? And I got some suggestions, which I'm going to try. So I'm going to do the same card, but with different DSP or stamp sets. And then we'll kind of get an idea how that goes. So, yeah, a lot of stuff going on here. So I'm going to flip the camera around and then we'll see where we're going. So let me clear the mess away so you don't see too much of that. Okay, one of my downlines, Melinda, suggested the ocean. What's it called? On the Ocean, I think it's called. I don't have that one, but I do have By the Bay, and it's called Seaside Bay. So I will try that one first. So give me a second while I flip the camera around. There we go. Sorry, a little bit of glare from my overhead light. I ordered some new lighting, so I won't have the overhead. I'll have some little photography lights right on my desk. So hopefully we won't get this glare that's here so much. I can move that aside a little bit. Oh, we're still going to get some glare. That's my fan light. Anyway, all right, so let's see what we have here. Yeah, I ordered some new desk lights for filming so I don't get that overhead glare or shadows. Hopefully that works. And I also ordered a new arm to hold my camera. I can hold my tablet and my phone, so I can look at two things at once, which would be fun. Okay, so I'm going to be using this and the paper that coordinates. Now the patterns I chose were this, which is so pretty with the soft petal pinks, pool party, some little, maybe little coastal cabana, and some highlights of gold in there. The flip side is this with the seashells and a little bit of the petal pink in the background as well. So I thought instead of the traditional blues and aquas that we do with the seaside cards a lot, you know, like I've done here. Here's one I did with some of the other paper, and I stamped the crab and popped him up. Okay, usually we think of the blues. I'm going to try using the petal pink this time. Right, just for something a little different, sort of that coral look, maybe a little Florida or Caribbean kind of a look. This also goes nicely with Sahara sand. Look how pretty that is. right? Maybe the colors are a little skewed on your computer or the transmission here, but I think I'm going to use the petal pink. So now I gave you measurements in my email. Another reason to sign up for my email, you get that stuff early. And I will put measurements and the materials in the description down below of this video once it's posted. So you can take notes and write them down or craft along if you like. If you don't want to, you can check out after. It's okay. You don't have to feel like you have to scramble because I will post them later. All right, so let's stick with the petal pink. And some of my gals have seen me do this before. We're going to just try it again. And I'm going to start with a card that is, your cardstock that's 11 by 4 1/4. So we're having this the long way. And our card is going to be oriented like this. So here's a sample of the card that we're doing. And it's going to have all these folds in here so that we can prop it up with something raised on dimensionals here, a little die cut or a punch, and then it's going to stand out like a bay window in a house. All right, and there's some other cute ideas that we're going to try with that as well. Okay, so and a little room to write inside here, a little bit more decorating here. This one I did with actual stamps. I made my own, what you might want to call DSP, and I did, I stamped it all on one piece of paper, which I'll show you a little bit later. One piece of paper, then we cut it up into the panels for that. So I'll show you that technique later. But for starters, I thought let's just start with some DSP. So we're going to use this, and let me tell you about the scoring of this. This is going to seem a little wacky, but it will all turn out in the end. All right, so we are going to score at 3/8 of an inch. There's going to be some small measurements here because that bay window pops out, it's going to be a little, not your typical score lines. Okay, so 3/8 of an inch. So that's just before the half. Okay, the second biggest line just before the half. 3/8 is going to give us that little lip for tucking in. Then we're going to go to 1 7/8. I hope I wrote these down properly, guys. So if I say them wrong, I'll correct them in the description in the comments below. Okay, 3 5/8. So that's just past the half. Okay, if you have 1/16 on your measurements, then that's the second line past, of course. Then 1 5/8. No, I'm sorry, what did I say? 5 1/8. Oh my goodness, let me get another sip of caffeine. 1 5/8. And then 5 1/2. That's going to be our fold. Okay, so of course you can measure it the other way and go this way, but I figured this way I don't have to open up my arm. All right, so I'll say that one more time. 3/8, 1 7/8, 3 5/8, 5 1/8. I said it right that time. 5 1/2. Okay, so let's take that away. Take out our bone folder. Nice sharp lines, especially with any fun fold. You want it to make sure it folds the right way. Okay, now this short little fold here, we're going to now fold up in the opposite direction. And then in there is where we're going to put some tear tape, because we want something really strong here. Strong adhesive. We don't want to have that pop open as someone's playing around with the card. Fun folds people like to play with, right? Open, close, open. Oh, look how cute. The last thing you want is for it to pop open. My New York girls like to tell the story of the first card they made for somebody. They worked so hard on it the very first time, and it didn't have enough adhesive, so when they gave it to the person at their shower, it just kind of fell apart. Luckily, they have a good sense of humor, and that's a fun story 20 years later. And they are all fabulous card makers they've learned what to do there. Okay, so we are going to now just fold that over. And now that's giving us that little, what we sometimes call like a bookbinding fold, but just very thin. Okay, it's just at 3/8. Now we can continue to fold these like the bay window. Okay, fold them in on themselves like that. And then the last 3/8 we're going to fold upwards. Okay, so now that I know exactly where they're going to go, I'm going to burnish those score lines a little bit better. Okay, there we go. Hope everybody had a good week. What are you guys doing for this weekend? Anybody really into the Super Bowl? Do you have a favorite team? Okay. We typically would have a favorite team, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure who we're going to root for yet. Okay, so all right, so you will notice, don't think it's wrong, that the centerpiece is a little bit, tiny bit wider than the other two. So now we're going to put our DSP on here. So I can either, maybe this is where you can help me out here. This is 4 1/8 tall by 4 inches wide. All right. And so don't think, all right, oh, it's not going to fit, because we're going to cut it into strips and lay it across as we did here. So that's going to obviously take up some space to leave those borders between and on the outside. So it's going to spread apart. So we can either put this paper on the front and then the shells on the inside, or you can go the other way, put the shells over there and the other paper over here. Okay, why don't you guys take a quick vote? Tell me, shells outside or shells inside? Okay, give me a little vote there. I know it's going to take a minute for all the little comments to come on up. So just let me know. Okay, shells outside or shells inside? I'll go with what I see a lot of people voting for. Okay, give you a little hint again, a little look here. Okay, shells, remember this is going to be split. Shells on the outside with this here, or the shells on the inside with this over here. Okay, so I see a vote for shells inside. Thanks, Masha. Anybody else want to vote? Which do you like better? I think having those gold highlights are so pretty on that paper. Just gorgeous. Really pretty. I'll show you in the meantime what some of the other paper looks like, just by the bay. We have shells with the blue in the background. We have just some pretty colors that look like the sea or the sky. Put in your vote if you have an idea. All right, you have some that look like weathered wood, mussels, nothing like PEI mussels. Anybody else like mussels? Oh, I can't get them much around here. I like the PEIs. Okay, some crabs and birds, some really neat patterns there. And then the backs have a lot of the gold or some iridescent. Look at that. Look at that. That was so pretty. This, like they call this specialty designer paper, when it has special foils or iridescent things on there. Okay. All right. Okay, we're going to go with shells on the inside. That may have been what I would have tried first also. Let's see how that goes. That means this is going to be on the outside. This is going to go on the inside. And this piece we need to be, let me get my notes back up here. 1 5/8 by 4 1/8. So let me trim that down now that we know which one we're using. Okay, 4 1/8 because we want it to be the same height as this one. There we go. And then 1 5/8. everybody. Like I said, I can't always see everyone's name between my phone that's over my desk here. And like I told you before, the clamp is right where the comments come in. So unless I twist and turn, I can't see that very well. All right, so the shells are going on the inside. Oh, I think that looks beautiful. Let's just get that set up first. And I need a piece of white on the inside. And this piece is 3 1/4 by 4 1/8 also. Okay, so the same height. So we're leaving just a 1/16 of an inch border all the way around. And that's going to get glued down just like that. Okie dokie. So let's do that. Oops. I was thinking I should have bought a new glue. Yeah, let me finish up with my adhesive here. My Stampin' Seal. I often like using the glue, as you know, because it gives me a little more wiggle room to get things straight before it adheres down all the way. You can be very careful. Okay, with the Stampin' Seal, it's a little different from our old snail adhesive, the way it comes off. So if you just roll it and then lean it forward a little bit and pick it up, then it snaps off pretty cleanly. The other one, we used to kind of snap it off the side. This one, just kind of lean forward and pick up. And you should get a nice clean cut there. And it is much stickier than the Stampin' Seal that we used to have. Much better. Okay, so there's our inside. Now our outside, we have to cut to fit those panels there. So we need both sides to be 1 1/8. So when you're measuring this, when you're cutting your paper, if you have a definite up and down, like I wouldn't necessarily want it like this. I like the horizontal flow to those lines. I made mine 4 1/8 tall. So your width is going to be that 4 inches. Okay, 4 1/8 is going to be the height. So now we're going to cut 1/8 panel on each side. That's pretty much the easiest way to go here. All right, now this one, I want to keep the integrity of that pattern going across, so it's continuous from one panel to the next. Kind of as you can see here, I kept the order. You don't have to. You can mix them up. You can flip them around, whatever you like to do. But I want to just keep it same so it flows across each panel. So as you can see, these match up and these match up. So I'm going to keep that order. This side and this side are going to be 1 3/8 wide. The middle one is going to be 1 5/8. So I'm just going to cut 1 3/8 here and 1 3/8 here. So here we go. 1 3/8 off this side. And then I'm going to use my measurement on the other side here, just so I don't mix up the order. 1 1 2 3/8. Goes to 1 1/2, so I can see it right over there. Okay, so, and I should then know that it's 1 and, actually that turned out to be 1 3/8 again. Ooh, did I make a little mistake? Oh, sorry guys, let me see. Well, let's see how this turns out. Maybe it'll be okay. Sorry if I gave the wrong measurement there. Okay, so that's 1 3/8, and this one is, oh, actually 1 1/4. Oh boy. Maybe I was supposed to make this 1 1/4. I'm sorry. I make mistakes too. Okay. Yeah, we needed it to be another 1/4 inch. Okay, so let me correct my mistake here. One moment. Let me get another paper. And okay, here we go. I got another one of those. Let me double check here. Sorry, thanks for hanging on here. Let's do 4 1/4 wide, 4 1/8 tall. See if this works out. 1 3/8 on the left side. 1 3/8 on the right side. Should be 1 5/8 on the left. Yep, that's it. Okay, so let's change that. I mean, if you want, you can leave it like that. It'll just have a little bit more of a border. And I'll give you an idea. So don't throw your paper away. Whatever you do, don't throw it away. Always something you can do with it. This is the one we're going to keep. If you want, you can take this middle panel that I cut too short and just put another border around there. Maybe even some of the gold foil could work. Over here. Okay, I'm not going to do it right now, but you can always just add another panel there and put that on in the middle. See that? There's always a way to work around. Okay, be creative. You can do that. I'll do that up later and just kind of see how that all works. All right, so let's change that measurement for the DSP to 4 1/4 by 4 1/8. Remember, 4 1/8 is the vertical measurement. So I'm going to glue those onto there. I'm going to actually get glue. Okay, here we go. Thanks for your patience, guys. Okay. And I'm going to glue those down in the order. Like I said, if you didn't want to, you wanted them more random, that's fine too. See, this way I can wiggle it a little bit. See, this way kind of still has that flow, but if you wanted to mix it up, you can certainly do that too. Just flip one around or switch this and that, whatever. Can't wait to see what you do. Those people who are going to make this card, whether now or later, share it in the comments to this video. We'd love to see all the different versions, what everyone comes up with. Not everybody has the same materials, or somebody might choose a color scheme that we didn't think about or wanting to try. So I give it a whirl. Okay, which way do we go? There we go. That looks pretty, doesn't it? Ooh, love that. Okay, so then what we need over here is something that's going to hold that up. And I brought in my double oval punch right here. I'm going to take one of these sentiments. Let's see. Will my thank you fit on there? Thank you for everything. Well, actually, that's going to be on the front. But I like to put a little something. We'll use that on the big scallop. All right. Okay, that could work. Well, that says sympathy. I'm not going to do that one. Okay, I'll do the thank you. And we'll use that for the front. And for the inside piece, maybe I'll use one of these birds. And it's small. You don't have to put anything. You can just have a piece of your cardstock there. So I'm going to cut a piece of the petal pink, the small oval. Will a bird fit on there? I'm not sure about that. I'm going to rethink that. But you can do what you like. But that's going to be our little mechanism to hold this. Now we're going to pop it up with dimensional dots. And I'd like to put something on there. You can put embellishments. You can put a little ribbon, a piece of twine. But the main idea, guys, the basic idea is to pop it up with dimensional dots. Okay. I tore a little bit there. Tuck that in. And where you place it all depends how far you want this to come out. If you want to come out pretty far, then push this in a little bit. If you want it to be not so dramatic and just pop out a little bit, that's fine there. So I'm just going to put it right in the middle, and you want to make sure that you leave enough space for that little lip to get caught underneath the oval. So don't put your, obviously don't put your dimensions close to the end. If you just leave them in the middle, that's fine. Okay, I'll put that there, and that can go underneath there. With this came some of these beautiful pearls. I'm sure I'll incorporate some of those in there as well. They're flat adhesive back pearls. We've had pearls before, but they weren't quite as iridescent as this. They're just more the white standard shape pearls. Okay, so now to put something on the front here. You can put anything. You can put small, you can put tall, like I did here. I left this tall. Another one I did with the Dainty Flowers DSP, did a circle with a little scallop layer underneath and embossed that and put little butterflies on there. And here we put the butterflies on that circle there. So isn't that pretty? That comes out there just using the DSP. All right, so I'll do maybe the thank you for everything. I always need some thank you cards. And I will stamp that in Memento Black on white. Take some of my scraps. Will this one fit? I bet you it's a little small. Yeah, it's right. Yeah, it's a little close to the edge. I'm not going to chance it. One nice thing about stamping and then punching your sentiment is you don't have to worry about it getting too straight when you're stamping, right? Because you could always just punch it. Easier to punch it out. Okay, well, got a little floppy there. I'm going to try again. Flip it over, do a little bit better. Okay, just feed it in there, and a lot easier to do this than to stamp it straight sometimes, right guys? Okay, then you can put your little adhesive, your little sentiment on there. If you wanted to layer it again, you can. I will take one of my favorites, Label Me Lovely. And I'm going to punch another petal pink. And if you wanted, you can just layer that. Maybe I'll do that. I'll put some of those pearls on there. That'll look pretty, right? Okay, get that nice and straight. Okay, odd numbers, right, gang? That's usually a good way to go. So there's some big ones and some smaller ones here. Let's see. Maybe I'll do one there and then two smaller ones. Oh, come on. Okay, that adds a nice shine. It really picks up the greenish blues there. Really pretty. Now I'm going to put those up with dimensional dots. Being careful not to put them on the side panels, just the middle. So I'm just looking, I'm not going to go beyond this last scallop here. I think I'll put 4 just to make sure it gets held on. And then you have your bay window fold card. Now, aside from my mistake in the measurements, I hope that was pretty easy. Okay, I have a little bit of sticky from my fingers there. An adhesive eraser is a great thing to keep on your desk. Stampin' Up used to sell these, but you can get them in craft stores. Somebody even said dollar store. It gets a little dirty, but you can just kind of pull those off eventually and kind of start fresh. If you even needed to, you could even cut them and then start with the fresh edges. But I just keep pulling them off. I've had that one for years. There's where it got a little sticky. Okay, it just pulls the glue off once it dries. Don't try it while it's wet. Once it dries, and that's just that little sticky. Okay, so look how pretty that is. Right? And then you can write your sentiment on the inside. I'm going to do something here. I'm not too happy with it being plain, and I want a little something else there. Maybe I'll cut some of the seashells from the designer paper and put them on there. So stay tuned. I'll post the finished ones later. All right, so let me show you some other ideas. So that's with the By the Bay paper and the Seaside Bay stamp set. And like I said, this is one that we did with the Dainty Flowers. This is DSP you can get with celebrations. So spend $50 and you can get this paper. All right, it's beautiful. I just love it. Okay, and I gold embossed that one. That came from, oh, I forget the set. I'll post it below though. Okay, and like I said, you can also just stamp instead of using DSP. This one I put a vertical just to fit the panel, vertical sentiment there. Tied it with some twine. This one I actually did during a bingo event that I held a couple years ago, I think it was. So that was fun. And oh, in the meantime, I'll leave this here. This is the host code for ordering this weekend. Cleaning off my stamps. Make sure you get them right back in there. You don't want to lose anything. Oh, it's tough when you find a loose stamp that you forgot to put away and then you forget where it came from. Some of you who keep good books can go to a reference and say and look for it, but if people don't do that, it's hard to find it. Okay, so somebody, when I was doing this card with my downline, we also tried this. I had, well, let me show you what it might have looked like. Oh, I can't. All right, so we put the paper on here and had the bayfold, right? I cut a little bird to be my holder to prop up. But then I took my stitch rectangles die and just cut through the front panel. So it's like a real window. And put, instead of the white in here, I put the little lovebirds, or birds, whatever they are, and so that they could be seen right through the window. How cute is that? Okay, not a lot of room for sentiment, but little I miss you and the two birds there. I thought that was really sweet. You can then put your white paper on the back and write something there. Okay, so I just thought that was really cute. I've seen nice ones with oval punch in here too. And you can also take your stitch rectangles that are tall and long and cut through each individual panel. So I didn't have time to do all these options for you, but I will certainly try them and post them as I get them done. So many ways you can cut through the whole thing, cut individual panels, maybe just cut the center one and leave these whole. Lots of options. But then, you know me, don't throw away anything. This middle piece that I cut out, I saved and made into another card. So that those panels are right in there. And you have the stitching around, which is really pretty. And I just mounted it on another DSP and cardstock and made it into a card. All right, so this, if you're wondering, this label here is from Something Fancy Dies. And I just layered these here. So these are really nice. You get a lot of different labels, different shapes, a few little embellishments, a little top for, like, if you want to make that into your tag. Okay, you can cut out that little loop there. And it's really, I like that, those options there. And the fact that you can layer them, already done for you. So that's exactly what I did here. So don't throw away those inserts. Do that there. Somebody mentioned maybe trying the Thanks a Bunch. So Thanks a Bunch is another celebration set that you can get. And so I'm going to show you really quickly how to stamp that and how to make that into your card. So I'm going to have to cut. I cut these the wrong size, so I'm going to cut a little bit bigger. Give me a second. Okay, 4 1/4 by 4 1/8. And I'm going to use, let's try Pear Pizzazz. Keep it springy. All right, and I'm going to then, let me score this first. One more time. It was 3/8, which I already did here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, did that one. 1 7/8. 3 5/8. 5 1/8. And then 5 1/2. Okay, burnish them, goes down. Second one goes up. And the others go in. The last one goes up. So once you get it, it is really quick and easy. Put your tear tape on that inner piece. Right there. Peel that off. Take your pick tool, is handy for that to get it started. Fold that down. All right, and now this piece is what's going to go all the way across. But first we're going to stamp it. So let's take a look at the carrot set. I mentioned this last time that, yes, this makes a carrot. You might wonder, oh, what do I need carrots for? Well, it's good for the spring, and it really is cute. I've seen some cute cards with it. But turn it sideways, and this part can be grass. Stamp it a few times with green. I've seen turn these upside down, and they stamp them in green, and they look like trees. So look around online. You might see some cute ideas for that. Let's take some carrots. I haven't even used this yet, guys. You're the first ones to see this. Okay, on my long block, and then this one will be next, a little extra zigzag. Let me put that on my silicone mat so I can see it better. There we go. All right, so just want to make sure, double check I'm going in the right direction. 1 4/8 is the vertical. And if I want to, well, let's do this one a little bit differently, actually. Let's cut it first, and then I'll put a couple carrots in each one, so they'll be separate instead of going a continuous across. All right, so we'll try something different. So we need to cut off 1 3/8 on both sides, remember? 1 3/8 from there, and 1 3/8 on the other side. It's just easier for me to remember one measurement instead of 2. Okay, so now that's symmetrical. All right, let's stamp some carrots. I am going to use, like I said, I haven't tried these yet, guys, but I'm going to use Mango Melody because it's a little brighter, and then Pumpkin Pie. If you wanted, you could stamp the Pumpkin Pie off first with the big background, and then stamp it full strength for the detail. So let's just see, let's practice on a scrap pad, see what it looks like. I'm going to stamp off first. Oh, I didn't press hard enough because it was under something else. So hold on there. Okay, this is going to have a little shading to it also. I'm going to press that down, stamp some of that off, and then stamp it over here, and you get a lighter color, right? Okay, I smudged my finger on there. So now let's take the detail stamp, and I'm just going to put it diagonally on this one. My other long block is put away. Now, full strength, we can go right over that. Then we get that detail. Looks really cool. All right, now let's try it in the Mango Melody and see which one we like best. I'm going to clean this one off. Try the mango. Might want to do both. Who knows? Oh, I think my mango needs a little more re-inking. I'm just going to try to go over that. See how I do. Okay, pretty good. And then let's do the pumpkin pie over that. All right, that looks pretty nice too. Nice to mix it perhaps, right? Colors do come in slightly different shades. I just might mix them. All right, so let's see what we can do here. Thanks for hanging in. All right, so that's our scrap. And here's our other pieces. Did I lose my little guy? Oh. Okay, well, those things happen. I can cut another. As soon as I cut one, I'll find it, right? All right, so let's see what we have in the meantime. I will, since I had mango on here, let me do mango again. One here. I'm leaving some room for the tops of my carrots. And then I'll do one of each on each of these panels. Okay, that one's not quite the same. Get an idea what that will look like. All right, that's going to be cute. And another one, 1 3/8. I'm cutting my last panel because I lost it. All right, there we go. Okay, clean that off. Stamp. Stamp this off and stamp it on here. Okay, I'll do the same thing here. Make them at different angles. Alright, and that one had to be mango. It needs a mango. Cleaned it off first, guys, don't worry. Okay. Now the detail. Full strength. Full strength with the pumpkin pie. It looks really cute. Ooh, I like it. Had a lot of carrots last night. Roasted them up with some Brussels sprouts. They were yummy. I'll close these up. Let's get out the greens. Oh, guess what? My little paper just flew out. Found it. Okay, the little carrot tops. Right now, this has two-step stamping as well. You have the leaves, then you have the detail on there, the little lines like you did on the carrots. I'll get a small one of those. Okay, I like to practice because I've never used these before, so feel free to do the same. All right. Let's see what it looks like. Full strength, and then stamped off. All right, and let's see what happens here. If I wanted... Okay, that's nice. Does it work the other way too? I don't know. Yeah, kind of. Well, let's just do the regular for now, okay? Keep it sweet and simple. So I will put maybe one full strength and one knot. Now watch here, guys. So when I stamped this part here didn't hit the paper, so that part's dark. I do not want to go stamping that onto here because it will show up with that line in there. So be very careful if you're doing Stampin' Off that that doesn't happen to you. So best to always re-ink, stamp off fresh, and then do that. Look how cute. Oh my gosh, very sweet. Then we can fussy cut one of these and pop it up. Wow, that would be fun too. So let me go and do these here. We'll put the dark leaf on the darker carrot. Lighter leaf on the lighter carrot. Maybe even do this. Do another one there. Ooh, that looks good. Okay, then we'll do two on here. And then one over here. Okay. Very sweet. All right, so you get the idea, right? I'm going to surprise you and put this together later. I'm not going to keep you too much longer. And we'll put it together, and I'll put a sentiment on there. And like I said, I think I might take one of these and pop it up, lay it on top of here, give it a little more dimension. And then we can put something else on the inside here. You could put more carrots if you want, but I might choose to put a DSP or something over here. And then, of course, my inside card will fit right there. So that I can put on in the meantime. All right, well, it's been fun, guys. Let me turn my camera around, and then I'll talk to you a little bit. And I could see some questions or comments. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Give me a second to turn my camera here. Okay, hello. Another great thing going on right now for celebrations is the great deal for the starter kit. I know I mentioned this before, but I can't tell you what a great deal this is. Two of my two stampers just signed up this since January to take advantage of that deal, and they could tell you that, oh my gosh, you get that starter kit, it's a lot of fun to open up all your new goodies. $99 is the traditional price for the starter kit, and you usually get $125 worth of product for that, which is great. But during celebrations, you get $175 worth of stuff, an extra $50 worth of stuff. Can't beat that whatsoever. You can't. And you can also, if you wanted to tack on $30, you can then also get the Stampin' Emboss machine, the mini one, in either the traditional white, or you can get the a new one that's coming out in boho blue, and that's just a special deal right now. You're not gonna be able to get that later. So check out the website, check out my online store. StampinLorraine.com is my blog. LorraineSish.stampinup.net is my online store, and I'll put all that stuff in the descriptions down below. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Maybe in the next few days, I might just do a little Q&A on the join details. Ask me anything. Okay, anything you want. I'll tell you. I'm honest. Okay, one big thing, you don't have to sell to customers. You don't have to do videos. You can just be a hobbyist. That's how I started. That's how probably most of the demonstrators started. They had no clue that they were going to be doing any of this. And you don't ever have to. You can just be a hobbyist. Most of my downline demonstrators are. So it's all good. As long as you can meet the $300 a quarter minimum, which ends up being $240 after your discount because you get 20%, then if you feel you can do that, then sign on as a hobbyist. If your wish list is over $100, it's a no-brainer. Sign up. You can even drop whenever you want. Okay, if you find out you don't want to continue with that, you just like the idea of the starter kit, then feel free. No hard feelings. I won't be upset. Just you can go back to being my customer, and that's all well and good. Alrighty. So does anybody have any other questions that I can help answer right now? I'm trying to look at some comments here, and I can't scroll through anything at the moment. But feel free to ask me any questions in the comments to the video. You can email me. You can see my blog and do whatever. So consider the starter kit. Consider placing an order between now and Sunday, 3 p.m. to be in the raffle. And I hope you have fun making the bay window card. All right. So thanks again for joining on, everybody. Oh, next Friday, I will not be doing coffee and a card. I know this is the third in a row, and I don't know if we'll do it every single week, but I might try to do it Thursday. And if not, we'll just skip a week, okay? Because next Friday I have something else going on. So hope everyone has a great week. Watch Super Bowl, have fun, eat. If you don't, be in your stamp room and do some